Hello.
Hello.
Hello, world. I am Meg. This is Luke. And you are here, weekend ready with Luke and Meg.
Wow, really good intro.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great start. Welcome back to the pod, everyone. We appreciate your company. What are you doing now?
Yeah.
Right
now.
Don't tell us. Think about it.
Scream at the camera right now and I'll hear it.
No, I meant it as more of like an introspective thing. Someone's pooing.
I heard a plop.
That person.
It could be pasta, could be potatoes going in a thing, but I'm pretty sure it was a poop hitting a toilet bowl.
That person must feel so self-conscious right now. Someone probably is pooing listening to this and they're probably going, how the hell have I been busted mid-shit in my own home? Maybe you're doing a public turd. Even shame on you.
Oh, shame. I have only ever done 2 public poos in my life because I can't. And you know what? On tour, I used to literally take stuff to make me constipated so that I wouldn't poop on tour.
What?
Yeah, unless I had my own room. If I had my own room, then I would go. But if I was sharing one bathroom with all of the guys, there's no way that I was
you would just eat food that like Macca's that would make you backed up?
Well, no, Macca's makes me run, but I would yeah.
Good to know. If Meg has a Big Mac at night, then a Macca's coffee in the morning. Oh.
Yeah, but I just have a bunch of nuts and stuff.
Does that make you backed up?
Yeah. I just back myself up and then I'd be like, oh, good. And I wouldn't go for 3 weeks at a time. It was really bad. And then when I did have to go, I would hammock the shit out of the toilet bowl so that no one could hear the plop.
Girls are so weird, man.
No toilet no public poos. No
that's
public
so weird. What do you... I don't know.
Why do you think the girls' toilets smell so nice?
Because you're all fucking weird. You're all... What do you mean hammock your poos? You just put toilet paper on the...
You would lay
water?
I would lay so much toilet paper over the water, but over the bowl, between the 2 bits of the bowl, and then when you plop, it just goes.
And then does it come over it and give the poo a little hug?
Yeah, it does.
It's like a poo burrito.
Yeah, so I can't see it. No one can smell it. It's perfect. Actually, there was also one time where I did a really smelly one at the airport, and literally midway through, I was like, I can't deal with this, so I flushed it. And then I continued.
I wonder if there's any guys who listen to this that did have a small crush on you.
No, they don't exist. It's not possible.
I reckon there would have been a few guys listening to this that were never would have voiced it, but definitely were oh yeah, Meg, she's just a person that they like following on Instagram or,
Yeah, is this you coming out and being I no longer have a crush on you?
No, I know all this and I still do. I'm just, maybe that's a me problem.
No, first time.
I didn't know about the poo burrito though. That's news.
Dude, I created a poo burrito. Just sounds like a giant shit.
Yeah.
No, the first time though was at the train station at Flinders Street. I remember this so vividly because it was the first time that I ever had the runs and I was like, I can't do it. Just because your memory is vivid, do you have to explain it so vividly? Yeah, absolutely. People need to know the stress that I was under in the time. They need to feel the same level of stress.
We would have to start a side podcast daily to get through all my public turd stories.
I know you do. You're a freaking demon.
Why does it matter?
I don't know, man.
I love an airport shit. My favorite shit used to be a work shit. Hang on, we need to spin the wheel first before I get...
shit.
And
we
then
did it again.
And then after that, I'll rank my poos.
All right, Luke, what are you after? What are you looking for?
Definitely turn up.
Turn up.
We are heading to the UK tonight when we're recording this, but when you're listening, we'll already be there. We have to pre-record this because we are going to be on a plane for 24 hours.
Yes, sir. Can I spin it or do you want to spin it?
You spin it. I spun it last week, but if we don't get a turn up, I swear to God, I refuse to wind down this week. No.
I might go on strike.
No, we can't because I also respect the wheel.
I know.
And pray.
Okay. Praying to Jesus. Here we go, Jesus. Please, 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 please. Yes!
Let's go! I am a holy man.
We're turning it up.
Yes, let's go. Dude, I've never prayed to Jesus before except for them. And I feel spiritual. That felt good. Yeah, I've often been a critic of religion. And now that I know it's silly.
Wait, have we created a religion? What'd you say?
You said let's pray to Jesus before we smash.
Oh, true.
And then it paid off.
I did pray to Jesus.
Yeah. The other episodes we haven't been praying to Jesus, and it's been wind down like pretty much every week.
Yes, sir.
Maybe
yes,
Jesus likes to get lit.
He does. Maybe
Loves
he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
He does love a bit of wine.
Yeah.
He loves it so much that he literally turns the water that he drinks into it. Yeah.
It's a miracle.
He's the OG alcoholic.
Yeah. Speaking of tricks.
I thought you were about to say speaking of alcoholics. I'm like, God, this is every podcast now.
No. Speaking of tricks.
Yeah.
Well, we were at a pub. This story does take place at a pub. So I could have said either. Either segue would have sufficed. We went out on the weekend.
Yeah.
And we met a magician.
Oh, that was good.
It was awesome. And we were skeptical going in. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was just me, but a few people in the group. Well, firstly, I feel rude and I want to apologize to the guy. I had a few beers by this stage. This was post an engagement party that had free beers on tap.
Mm.
So I was rolling in hot to the magician.
Yeah.
And
spicy.
I didn't know what was going on. There was this guy just talking to some girls at our table. I leaned into my friend and I said, I just roast people, but I do it one-on-one usually.
Absolutely.
Like I'll just lean into you and be like, oh, that guy looks like, Jason Statham fucked or whatever.
Yes.
Like I'll just say
Did you
shit
do
like
that to the magician?
No. I did that to my friend. I was like, why does that guy look like a magician? And then my mate was like, he's a magician. And I was like, oh, that tracks.
That's really funny.
I was like, that makes so much sense because he's literally dressed like I think a magician at a pub would dress.
Like he wasn't in like the full top hat and everything, but he did look.
He was wearing a suit.
He was wearing a suit and he did look like, he just looked like a magician.
He had like a neck tap.
Yeah.
And he had his hair slicked back.
Yeah.
And he was just wiggling his hands.
Yeah.
That's what magicians
That's
do.
What
he was great.
Wiggly fingers.
I didn't even realize this till like the next day.
Yeah.
He was paid by the bar to be
I
there.
realized that after, yeah. So he was like, oh, we can't spend too long here. We have to go over to the other groups. And that's when I was like, oh, you're being paid to be here to go around groups.
I thought he was like a up and coming magician doing the rounds trying to practice his magic to like drunk people because that's the best audience.
Even if he was there for that, then it was pretty good. I got his business card, so.
Yeah. So did I. He was giving it out to a lot of people.
He was giving it out, yeah.
And he did this one trick. So, the where's your card? Yeah, sure. I know it. Oh, it's your card. No shit. It's going to be my card. Otherwise, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So I'm never wowed by that.
No.
I'm like, I don't know how you did it, but I'm still like, well, I predicted the ending. I'm sure you're about to pull out an ace of spades because that's what I pulled out. He did one trick. And now I'm not going to spoil how I think he did it. My mate maybe caught him on camera doing it. When I first saw it, blew my mind. He had put a stamp on his hand.
Yes.
And then
X. He put an X.
And then he was like blah blah blah. And then the girl opposite us, who he hadn't touched her hand, had an X on hers.
Yeah.
Drunk Luke blew my mind.
Yeah. Okay. So to those who don't know me, I have autism, and so things like magic tricks, sarcasm, there are a lot of jokes that will just go straight over my head because I'll either take things so literally, but also because my mind can't figure it out. And so magicians to me...
What's the point?
Well, I'm still really confused because I thought...
You're not supposed to know.
Okay, no, I knew that, but I wasn't sure if you guys were like, oh my God, he's amazing. I didn't know if that you guys were like, oh my God, he's amazing.
Yes,
like,
because I think
he's amazing. Or if you guys were like, oh my God, he's amazing. And I still don't understand. Are you joking or being serious?
We started off definitely like, oh, who's this guy? Because we just thought he was there to try magic.
Yeah.
And we were just like, all right, cool, we'll give him a shot.
Yeah.
But we're an open group of friends. Like if a magician of any ability came up to us at a pub stating I'm a magician, we're going to give him 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
That's our friendship group.
Yeah.
We're like, we're going to hear this guy out, let him do a few tricks. And then at first he did a classic, is this your card? We're like, okay, that was pretty good. But again, I've done card tricks before to people and they've been impressed. Granted, I spent a lot of time learning them and
honing your craft.
And I could have done anything else with that time. Then he did a couple ones. The elastic band ones I'm never impressed with because I know that there's ways to just do it where you snap an elastic band and it ends up on the other two fingers, where you go like that and then it whips across so quick you can't see it. So that one
How does that work?
I've Googled how they do that one. It's just the way you like, there's a few elastic bands going around as well. You have like one here and then just whip one across. I'm not going to pretend I know how to do it, but I've looked into how I think they do it. The one with the little X, definitely he stamped my hand beforehand, but I didn't realize, which is still impressive.
Every time magicians come around and stuff, I genuinely am like, I resort back to a child mode where I'm like, this is amazing. I was like, how in the hell did you do that? And I was like amazed. And then you guys started like going like, oh my God, like he's so good, like amazing. And then I was like, oh, maybe Luke was like, oh, just put it on my hand and she'll get amazed. And so that's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I was just like so confused.
Oh, you thought you were being like tricked by all of us?
Yeah, I thought everyone was just like, oh, let's like, this is going to be funny. Let's just like fuck with her for a bit. And I was like, I don't know what is happening.
No, so when it got to that part of the thing, so we did this thing where we put our hands out, like both of our hands were in front of us each and pretty much touching each other.
Oh yeah, the energy.
And then he did this thing where he's like, oh, I'm going to transfer energy between you. And he touched my ear, like he yanked my ear. He just was like to me. And then Meg, all of a sudden, she has her eyes closed. She just goes and wipes her ear.
Wait, he didn't. I thought he did touch it though.
No, but no one had touched it. That's the thing. I was looking at you. You just went, oh, like a second after he touched my ear. That one, I actually don't understand that. I'm sure someone has an explanation like, oh, you can convince someone for some reason that they're being touched. And the one where he flicked your nose, I just felt like someone flicked a card over my nose, but he didn't.
Wait, I'm so confused now.
So that's the point of it.
Okay, I know. I get that's the point. I get it. But
he's done a good job.
Yeah, I know he's done. Now I'm like, fuck, he was actually genuinely amazing because I thought the entire time you guys were just being assholes to me and just like going, this is funny, tug on her ear. Oh, I felt the ear tug as well.
No.
And I was like, what is happening?
That's what we were doing to each other after he left. So when the magician left, then we started fucking with each other going, okay, I'm going to do a trick. And we'd hit each other in the balls and run away.
I was so confused the whole time. I was like, do I act amazed? Do I not?
I convinced one of my mates that I'm like, all right, here's a new trick. And then I was like, all right, so, and I'm like, close your eyes. And he wouldn't because he didn't trust me.
Yeah.
And eventually he did. And I was like, okay. And then my friend just ran over and went, you're not going to have kids again. And then smacked him in the balls and ran away. And then my other mate, because he had his eyes closed, was like, what the fuck, man? And I was like, I didn't do that shit. Anyway. I played along though.
Yeah.
The one where he drew an X on your hand.
Oh, you did?
No, I realized, I must already have an X on my hand. I was like, but I didn't want to spoil his reveal. Like I knew if I had have flipped it as he was drawing it on your hand, I'm sure he would have already put it on there.
Yeah.
3 tricks beforehand.
Right.
When I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
I was like, I'm a fan of the art, man.
Yeah.
I'm a theater boy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fan of the arts. I didn't want to poo-poo the big reveal in front of the group. So I waited and then he was like, all right. He did the over my hand. I let him do his whole thing. And then he's like, turn your hand over. And I was like, okay, get fucked. Yeah, he does. He does have it on me.
That has always been magic. And also like when people are a part of they're like doing a bit, but they're all in on the bit. And then you used to do it on Luke and Lewis a lot. Like even I knew stuff like Bone Meal as being like, the greatest YouTuber ever, but for a long time I was like
bullying or in jokes.
Just like in jokes that
where you never break.
Yeah, you never break the joke, and to everyone else around them, even if they're like, oh wait, so this is like not an actual thing, right? This isn't an actual radio station, or like this isn't an actual
Jeff
thing.
And Big Spaghetti on Overdrive.
I was like, wait, is this like not a thing? And you guys would all be like, no, it is. Like it's like one of the biggest things in like Australia, and I'd just be like,
still is.
Yeah, exactly.
They're literally on Overdrive.
Yes, and now that I have gone over this for 2 years, I now understand. understand it a little bit more. But do you know how long it took me to fucking click? Like shit like that does not click for me. So I forever go along with anything now. I never question. I just go with it.
In general, with maybe my friendship group is never question things.
No.
That's not a great rule in life, actually. Don't question it, Meg. That sounds really creepy. When we're all laughing along and something's happening,
I just don't question it.
Usually, I think people search for meaning in a lot of stuff like that in the past. Like, I don't get it. And I'm like, hey, nothing to get. Sometimes screaming Jeff and Big Spaghetti is just funny when you haven't had sleep in a week.
Yeah. But I've actually, since I've been with you though, I feel like I've done a bit of a flip. So I used to not be able to understand. I took things too literally. I would always take things literally in the past, and that meant jokes weren't as funny and stuff because I'd never see anything really as a joke. I would just take it like fucking Bible.
Oh, and so everyone who follows me on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. So now I've done the flip over now. Now I've done the flip, and now I struggle to see when people are being serious about something, which is way worse. It's so much worse because someone will say something serious and I'll think it's funny and I'll start to laugh at it. And then they'll be like, oh, no, I'm being serious.
Someone's like,
I'm confused. I'm thinking they're just committing to the bit. And I'm like, yeah, sure it is. And they're like, no, seriously.
My child has bone marrow cancer. And Meg's like, classic. Speaking of people taking too literally, and by the way, don't worry for all the poo fans, I will still rank my poos at the end of the pod. Reese has been going, why have we moved on so quick?
We've already done the poo scale before. But no. But this is ranking your actual, your top 5
My
poos.
favorite place is to poo. Oh,
you have a
favorite place? We can do it now if you want.
Okay, let's do that now. So Luke, you do yours.
Then can I complain about my stupid fans on Instagram?
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good. We'll schedule that in. We'll schedule in a gripe with my entire online audience just later in the pod. A few people follow me on Instagram listening right now feeling pretty insecure. Is it me? You're fine, I'm sure. Unless you replied to my Instagram story last night, seriously.
And all of them are like, fuck.
It did get a lot of replies.
Top 5 poos. Let's go.
Best ever poo.
Yeah.
Best ever place to poo would be a workplace poo when you're getting paid hourly. Pooing on the clock, no better feeling. At the golf club that I used to work at, I only used to sometimes work 3-hour shifts as a teenager. 2.5 hours were maybe spent working. Sometimes I'd even see if I could shit again at the end of the shift.
Just to try and
see what I got.
Knock some time off that.
Sometimes eat a lot during it, steal the pies out of the hot, pie machine.
You told me about that. For 2 years, you would just eat nothing but pie.
Yeah, I still love them.
I know.
4 and 20 pies are the best pies. I don't know. There's something about them.
Also helped you to shit while you're in the workplace.
Second best type of poo, and I like an airport shit.
You like an airport?
Something about just when I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I don't mind if that's what I'm spending my time doing. So when we have an hour and a half to kill at the airport, I'll just go to Meg. I'm just going to take a shit. She's like, do you ever need it? I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
It's so sad that that's what you do. That's you get excited for downtime and your downtime is just on the toilet.
Yeah, I guess I'm pretty busy.
You know what though? It means that you can't take any phone calls because you're not going to, pick up a phone while you're in the toilet.
It's just time to scroll.
And you can also then use it as an excuse oh, sorry, man, I was taking a shit. Or perfect time to scroll as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't feel guilty because it's you've got nothing else to do except for shit and scroll.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I think the third best kind, maybe let me sit on it while I think of the third best.
Okay.
What are your favorite ones, Reese?
So at the start of Luke's tour last year, I was sort of doing a thing where I made it a goal of mine to take a shit at every venue. I did a ranking system.
Oh my God, I forgot about this. This is awesome.
How'd you go?
Well, I'll tell you now.
Okay.
The Wagga RSL. Oh. I gave it 2 shit emojis out of 5.
You were ranking them as
only
you
2.
went.
Yeah, that's what he means. There was something I came out and I was like, hey, mate, I haven't seen you go to the toilet yet. Have you gone? And he's like, nah. And I'm like, go on, champ. I'll man the station. You go get it done.
Orange City Bowls Club won shit emoji out of 5.
I remember that toilet.
It was a grim.
Mate, you imagine what the Orange City Bowls Club amenities are like.
Dubbo, the Milestone Hotel, I gave it a 2.
Yep.
Okay.
The Port Mac Glass House, I gave that a 4.
Yeah, that was a nice venue.
The Tamworth Theatre, I gave a 3.
Yeah.
And Bathurst, the hotel, a 1.
Oh, a 1.
Yeah, we stayed in like Guantanamo Bay, but in Bathurst.
I just want to put it out there. I didn't book that one, so
that
CBJ,
one.
that's your fault, Jack.
That was the shared bathroom place. Yeah. We stayed in these little prison cells, but then we all just got so fuck-eyed that we got back to our place at 3:30 in the morning. That was the night that Warnie died.
Passed out.
We had a real big night,
Yeah.
and then we had to drive 8.5 hours home the next day at 8 a.m.
Brutal.
And we were pretty much drawing straws of who was driving because no, we were all fit to drive. Doesn't matter.
Who wanted to risk their license?
Yeah. That's just the first leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was
I only did the first leg.
No, he kept it going for a while. He just stopped
might bring it back for this year's tour.
Please do.
Yeah,
This year's tour was kind of nice.
Yeah, all nice, yeah.
Feel a bit out of touch with this year's tour. Thanks, by the way, everyone who did
has already
copped tickets.
Yeah.
It's selling really well, which we're stoked about. But yeah, there's going to be no...
There's not really any grim...
One-star poos.
There is a couple of places in the early tour, not the theaters.
Oh, okay.
The accommodation, there's zero accommodation anywhere in the vicinity of that place. And so I had to go with like the fucking grimmest like motel or something.
Most
Pretty
of those
bad.
places only have motels.
Yeah.
Why do motels exist? Because I don't really get the difference. It's always like this motor inn where you drive in, it's never more than 2 stories.
For people who travel.
Other than to like have sex with prostitutes, what is it really for?
No, it's for people who travel via car.
Why don't they just make shitty hotels? Why don't they just build them up more? And I don't get them. They always have they're always just the same.
Well, it's just the idea is that it's smaller, it's cheaper. A lot of people can't build up, so they build motels so that they can afford to obviously run a motel because it costs a lot of money to run a hotel. Also, when it's a hotel, it has to come with like a certain amount of amenities and stuff. Right. Motel.
Check out M at the front.
Basically, the motel is just supposed to be for convenience. You just drive in, you go to bed, you get out, you go again.
You know what the M stands for? Is that blood?
Bit of cum on the pillow.
Motel. That's what it stands for.
Yeah.
And my third favorite place to poo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know where it is. Bali.
Why?
Well, there was a certain hose that Bali had. Every time you're like...
The bidet?
I would know
Oh my God.
I would know every single time you went to the toilet. I'd be like, where's Luke? And then I'd hear, ooh! And I'd be like, oh, he's using the bidet again. It was like ice cold water as well.
It was freezing.
Fucking freezing on your asshole. I used it once and I was like, no, nope, absolutely. And it wasn't a little bit of an amount of water. It wasn't like trickle. It was like fucking it was like straight up the ass.
Yeah.
Which is why Luke liked it.
Sometimes it's good to feel something. Sometimes you need to wake up that day and, you know, we have a hustle and bustle lifestyle.
Yes.
Sometimes giving your asshole a light spray just gets you up in the morning.
Yep.
It's the Barocca of the South. That's what I call it.
We went to your dad's retirement throughout the week.
Yes.
Which was beautiful, you said. I didn't get to go for very long. I didn't get to see the speeches and stuff.
You worked at the same place for 35 years.
35 years.
Good innings.
Good Lord. Was he a little bit more of a strict teacher or was he just...
If you were a piece of shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one day he got us in trouble because we did that. You know, the day any boy in Australia, or I assume the world, we've discovered the day where you figure out if you bend down behind your friend, it allows for another friend to push them over.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
You get right behind the calves and it just whoosh.
That that was like a solid moment of time where everyone was doing that.
Discovery, you're like, holy shit, they just topple.
They can't do anything.
It's like cow tipping, but with a human. It's awesome. So we're doing that on the Oval, and he was on yard duty. And I remember that day when he made us all like pick up papers or whatever. Like that was the punishment, or like do something like that. And then I remember that just, you know, when you're a kid, everything seems like such a big deal.
Well, yeah, it's scarier.
Oh my God,
when you're getting told off.
I'm in so much trouble.
Yeah.
You know, he used to take me home from school because he worked at the same school, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I got in the car and he was like, oh, how's your day? And I was like,
you know how my day went.
yeah, I'm like, I thought you were going to scream at me. And he was just like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, because now as a grown-up, sure, if you saw a bunch of kids doing that as an adult, you just go, oh, one of them's going to fucking kill themselves. Oh,
you have to intervene.
You just have to intervene because it's like, oh, that's dangerous.
It's a safety thing.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh my God, I've destroyed my life right now. I'm going to jail.
I was like, this is the end for me.
Yeah. So your dad's retirement triggered my memory on another retirement story that happened at my school. My year 4 teacher, she said that when she turned 70 on her birthday, that's when she would retire. So she said that to all of the teachers for like 40 years. So all the teachers knew, okay, when she turns 70, she's going to retire. Now, pretty old. So all the teachers on her birthday, on her 70th birthday, got some of the kids in our class, so like all of us, like year 4s, there were like 5 of us, we helped to set up this retirement in the staff room for at the end of school. She would come in and they would all celebrate her retirement. And so we set up this entire retirement. And when I say they set it up, I mean they had massive balloons. They had her name in like balloons. They had like streamers going down. It was completely decked out room ready for this celebration. They had food all over the table, everything like that. So she finishes, comes in, and we're like, surprise, like happy retirement. And she just looks at everyone and goes, oh no, I'm not retiring yet. No. I've decided I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And everyone was like,
but the balloons. Someone just gets a pin and goes, and just pops it like right in front of her. That's our hearts. Jesus Christ.
Everyone was like, oh no.
That is weird though. To not check with her.
But to be fair, if this person's going for 30 years on her 70th birthday, she had also said it that year as well. She's like, everyone was like, oh, you ready for your retirement? She was like, yeah, we're ready to go. Like, I'm really excited.
Someone should have probably touched base with her a few days before.
Absolutely.
Just like,
she ended up lasting another 5 years.
Yeah. Well, should have she? That's old.
75.
That's really old to be teaching.
That's pretty amazing though.
What do you have in common with a 7-year-old when you're 75?
That's what I mean. Like it's pretty, well, I was in year 4, so I would have been 10.
But as a 75-year-old, your job is to say fuck stuff around kids and for your kids to go, they're young, don't, keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
Your job is like supposed to be kind of openly just saying heinous shit at family functions.
Yeah.
That is your role in society. And if you're trying to inspire and put wisdom on the youth, you're kind of fucking it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't teach when you're 75.
No, and that's the thing. Like,
I'm sure you can be a great teacher when you're 75. Some people.
She was still a good teacher. Like, I'm not gonna like knock her. She didn't understand what a learning disability was. She didn't believe that any child had a learning disability.
She was 75. She probably didn't understand what an actual, sorry. Leave it in. She probably didn't understand what physical disability was, I should have said. She probably thinks the Paralympics is a myth, is what I was trying to say. Yeah. She's 75 then. But she shouldn't be driving.
I remember she used to get so frustrated. She'd be like, why aren't you learning? And I'd be like, I don't know.
Back in my day,
things
used to go into her brain and stay in there.
For her to have taught for that long, gotten to when she was 75, that's good innings. Holy moly. But yeah, that triggered that story. And for some reason, like my brain just revamped the story. As soon as I walked into the staff room, I was like, I just had like a flashback moment to her walking in and being like, oh, I'm not retiring. I was like, oh God, I hope your dad is actually retiring here.
That just pulls the pin.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
I got 5 more years in me. No, he's pretty pumped. I want to throw this out in the universe.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else has ever had this happen to them or ever did have this happen to them. One time in grade 2, I have this core memory where I got judged for showering naked by everyone in my class.
Like, wait.
Like, you know when you're
where were you showering naked?
in the shower,
Okay.
in my own home.
At your house.
But I think it just came up in conversation one day, like showering. I guess when you're that age, like the idea of being naked, I mean, naked sin is like this rude thing as a kid. It's like, oh,
How old were you?
I guess like 7 or 8. But I don't know, it was in grade 2 exactly, but it was just when I was really young. I don't know if this was a thing at school, but like all these other kids were lying, going like, no, I shower in like my shorts, or like I shower in my
They were showering
underwear.
in their clothes.
No, they were fucking lying because
Oh.
they didn't want to admit to like other kids that are 7 that they're ever naked, because being naked was considered like, you know, like gross.
Nudie
or,
Rudy.
Yeah, nudie, or like, you know what I mean? Like gross, or like,
Yeah.
I guess at that age it was like a sin almost as a child. But I remember just being
I
honest.
don't remember
Does this
ever.
happen to anyone?
No. I
Damn
don't
it.
remember anyone being
I
like,
thought this was a relatable thing.
that kids just didn't want to be naked in the shower.
Just like remember being honest, like just because I was like always just been an open book.
Yeah.
And the kids were like, well, how do you shower? And I was like, you know, but I felt so much
Naked?
pressure, and I was like, naked, and everyone's like, oh, what the like what? Not saying what the fuck.
They're like, what the fuck?
No, they were just like, whoa, Luke showers naked. That's so gross. Like, and
Gross. But
I just remember being
showering with clothes is a lot more unsanitary.
sure, as a grown up, yes, but I was just like, remember at the time being like, oh my God, is that weird? Like, am I weird? My parents told me to shower naked. Like,
Dude, we were so unfazed by being naked. I remember there was multiple times where my friends and I would just fucking get our gear off and go like mudsliding and stuff. We just slide in the mud because we couldn't get our like clothes wet.
Yeah.
So we just go sliding in the mud and stuff. It was awesome.
Meg grew up in Adelaide, and it always shows in her stories. Like, they're always,
Yeah, down there we were just sliding in the mud. That's how we bathed.
yeah, literally.
Naked in the mud. No, it was so much fun. What about like on like really, really hot days, wouldn't you get like the sprinkler out and like, I guess that was
yeah.
underwear. That was like more in your underwear though.
Oh no,
You wouldn't like get
not,
naked.
not in primary school. Like, I forget the years of when that became unacceptable, but like there's a lot of family videos
Look,
at
I
home
wasn't
of me
in
grooving to the Wiggles naked.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I wasn't in year 2, by the way, when we did that.
Yeah.
I was like
Oh,
maybe
yeah, as a kid,
4 or
yeah,
5
yeah.
years old. Yeah.
Play on, of course. But I just remember feeling so like vulnerable and like ostracized, being like, oh my God, like I'm a freak. I've just confessed to everyone that I've been nude before. And I remember it was a whole day of abuse. I remember I think I remember going home and being like, why do I shower naked? Mum and Dad, and they were like, what?
I am so confused as to why everyone collectively was like,
Well, never mind.
yes.
I apologize for bringing this to the show because I thought this was like,
I don't think anyone is going to relate to that. I'm not going to lie. Unless they're from your year 2 cohort, I do not think that this is going to relate to
everyone's
anyone.
just going to be like, man, I'm sorry that happened. But that's not relatable at all. Yeah, right.
Really funny. You were like, so like this really relatable thing, putting it out into the universe. Nah, I can't even remember what. Oh, there was the only kind of similar. Not really. No, it's not similar in the slightest. Me in your situation where I was like, oh, that's really weird. I thought that was normal. Was when I got to my new school and I was like, trying to make friends and stuff. They were all like, oh, like, do you like playing sport? And I was like, yeah, I love playing sport. Because at Apollo, all of my friends were the like guy group of friends, and I would play the Pokemon or cricket or football at lunch. So I was very tomboyish. I would never wear dresses. I never let mum. Yes.
I have a question. Sorry, my hand's up.
What is your?
Pokemon's not a sport. Continue. It wasn't a question. It was a correction.
Well, Luke, the way that we used to play it was very much in like a real life situation. So if we threw down, we'd become the Pokemon and fight.
I take it back. That sounds quite competitive.
Yep. It was kind of like wrestling, but there was zero rules involved.
You're a Squirtle.
Yes.
Right.
Actually.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
I understood how that would work.
Yeah, I remember getting in trouble one time because I spat water at someone and the teacher saw. And I was like, and then do you know how hard it is trying to backtrack? I was like, no, I was just trying to be a Squirtle. I was just trying to be a Squirtle.
No. I had hydro pump. I literally earned it in the gym, okay? You start throwing rocks. You're like, what are you doing now? I'm a Geodude. So...
I'm allowed to throw rocks, okay?
You get like deodorant and a match. You're like, I'm a Charizard. 3rd degree burns to a child. Well...
Yeah, so going to the new school, it was kind of... Because obviously none of the guys... If you haven't grown up with guys, they don't just like let girls obviously into the like play sports and stuff. You have to like grow up with them. And so I wasn't allowed to play. None of the guys were like, oh, you can play sports with us. So I had to sit with the girls.
We used to play footy with all the girls at lunchtime.
Yeah, I know. Apollo was different. I feel like Apollo was very much like
a nice school.
An open.
Except for if you're naked.
In the shower in a reasonable place where you're supposed to be naked.
Sure, yeah, I should have said that. The context of the nudity is very important.
There's not kids running around Apollo just naked, like, woohoo.
It's like if Woodstock was a school.
But yeah, one of the girls was like, I was like, I don't really like wearing dresses and I don't like, she was like, oh, why do you always have your hair up? And I was like, I don't like putting my hair down. And I was like, oh, my mum says that I'm a tomboy. And she was like, you're not a tomboy. You've got a pink water bottle.
True.
And I was like,
owned.
Well, I didn't actually want the pink one. I wanted to get the green one, but it was sold out. And she was like, nah, you're definitely not because you've got long hair. And I was like, so are you a tomboy? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, but you have long hair. She's like, yeah, but I'm a blonde. And I was like,
if you are being traditionally stereotypical, that would be more of a...
Yeah. I was like...
Look like a Barbie.
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And she just started fucking reeling off things that you had to be... Like had to have in order to be a tomboy.
So you could say there's a few things that we both haven't moved on from.
Yeah.
In our past.
Yeah.
You're regurgitating an argument you had with a 6-year-old once.
Yeah, and this is how much I held it against her. I remembered that.
Talking about it.
No. Yeah, they were still talking about it. But I remember there was in year 5, we had to pick groups of who we wanted to be with. And she ended up picking me to be in her group. And I was like, that's so weird. I thought you hated me. And purely because I had this memory of me first coming to the school in year 2.
You judged my water bottle.
And I was like, oh, she must hate me forever. And she was like, what? Like, I was like, oh, I thought you didn't like me. And she's like, why wouldn't I like you? I really like you. You're in like our friendship group. Like, what? What do you mean? Oh my God. I was like, oh no.
They can hold a grudge.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Not similar in the slightest, but closest thing I could get to coming up against your story of being naked in the shower.
And I shouldn't have been. It's my fault. I shouldn't shower naked. And now forever since then I've worn shorts. So
yeah, now he doesn't shower naked.
I don't shower naked.
He showers fully clothed.
I shower in a tuxedo now.
Yeah.
With a top hat on.
In fact, you get more dressed to go into the shower.
That's why I'm smelly. Yeah, I suit up. Anyway, I'm rattled a little. We're leaving to the airport
I'm so rattled.
Shit.
Yeah,
like 6 hours.
You still have to get stuff from the shops.
What? One, where do we start? Because it kind of is to do with both. Last night I put up a story showing that it was 4 degrees on Wednesday, which is when we arrive in the UK. Mm-hmm. 4 degrees is not, that's Celsius, by the way. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I don't give a shit. Get a better measurement.
It's cold. Chilly.
Cold. I put that up in my story being like, hey, how many singlets should I pack? The gag there being that singlets wouldn't keep you warm in the snow.
Yeah. He just starts screaming like, oh, fuck me.
I just forget.
They're so dumb.
I just forget the caliber of person that clearly follows me. I don't know. Look, I'm not having a go at all of you. I'm having a go at 75%.
Yes, exactly.
All right? There is a 25% group of you, and if you want to consider yourself part of that, okay?
That's on you.
Sure. If you're currently worried about it, maybe you fall into the 75%.
Yes.
So many people were like, oh man, you should definitely like not bring a singlet. Like I think you should bring a scarf. Now I understand some people were definitely playing along.
Absolutely.
Some people were like 100% like, oh man, I don't know, dude. You might need more than that. Haha.
Someone said like, oh, nah, man, you're going to need to bring like 18 singlets. Like,
But that's funny.
yeah.
That's great. They fall in the 25%.
Yes, that's funny.
But there are so many people that's like, hey, Luke, none of you are actually sure, but it actually is really cold here at the moment. I would suggest thermals over a singlet, and like maybe a beanie if you have one, and like seriously rug up. Anyway, looking forward to your show in like Glasgow or whatever. And you're like, oh.
But then you kept playing into it. And so you were like, nah, I'm going to keep doing this.
I started putting sunscreen in my bag, going like, oh, Meg, we missed this. I'm like, oh, bring the beach cricket stuff. People are still going, oh, man, we don't have beaches here. Like, there's stones. And I'm like, no shit.
We fucking know.
It shows how dumb they think we are. It's actually almost offensive to us because they're like, oh, these Australians just mustn't know anything about us. We know about your country.
We know what country we're going to.
I have a feeling that I get the gist.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's old. Queen's not around anymore. I know all the big facts. I put a big Weet-Bix cricket kit in my bag and people were like, oh man, like you could probably I would probably put a puffer in there instead. Like that'll take up a lot of room.
And some people were like,
and I don't even know anymore if people are fucking with me. I just read them. I'm like, is this a joke?
Well, I didn't understand because some of them, after every single story that he'd post, they'd be like, no, dude, you have to see what I'm saying. No, seriously, it's really cold. No, like actually, like please stop. Like stop packing your bag with unnecessary things. And we're like,
yeah.
And then there was the final one.
Oh man, it's not very sunny this time of year. You definitely won't need 50 SPF sunscreen.
Yeah. I also put the bikini up and I was like, oh, which one of my 16 bikinis should I bring?
Yeah, I said should Meg bring 94 or 93 bikinis to the UK? And some people are like, probably none, man. I don't think you'll get that much beach time. It's like cold this time of year, which is funny to me that there is a time of year in the UK where they consider like 23 beach weather. That also amused me. Where I was like, that is funny that they still think there is a 3-week window where they're like, hit the beach, the sun's out.
Yeah.
So that was my gripe from earlier.
Okay.
I appreciate your feedback. It's been noted. But what is funny is I didn't actually think about, because I think about things right as they come.
Yeah.
As soon as something's around the corner, I peek around and I go, ooh, didn't give that enough thought.
Yeah.
I just go to Meg in the last week. I'm like, I don't have a jacket.
Yeah.
She goes, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't really own jackets. You've seen me. I wear hoodies a lot. I have a jacket that I wore to New York in like 2018 and I remember being freezing. It snowed when I went to New York in November once, which was rare apparently.
Yeah, it was really cold. And but in saying that, everyone at the time told him how much of like a homeless person he looked like when he wore the jacket.
Yeah.
And he brought it out last night. He was like, I don't look like a homeless person in this.
Meg's like, you look dirty.
Yeah. It looks like it was a cream color and then someone just dumped a bunch of dirt on it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's my one jacket. So I went and bought a jacket on the weekend.
A puffer.
But I'm rattled because my shaver just broke this morning. I need to buy trackies. And by the way, we have to be at the airport in like 6 hours.
I know.
We have to do the podcast.
I feel sick. I'm not ready for this. I hate not being prepared.
I haven't packed.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of quests to do in Fortnite last night because I'm trying to get the battle pass ends in like a few days. So I'm trying to unlock a few skins before I go.
Yeah. Here I am stressing about like housework and getting all like as many clips and stuff done as possible.
Yeah, but I'm not going to play on Switch lobbies when I go. Fuck that.
True.
So anyway, I was jam-packed last night, plus I had all those Instagram stories to make.
Yes, busy boy.
And I had to put all my clothes on my bed so you could fold
them and put them away while you played Fortnite, of course.
No, I did that while I was doing Instagram stories. I was promoting my shows. So
True.
Trying to
promoting the shows that you've already sold out. Yeah.
The point is I'm just rattled.
You're rattled.
And it's gotten to today, the day we're going. Because it also, for ages, everyone was like, oh, we're leaving Wednesday. We're leaving at 1 a.m.
Yes.
Wednesday. So I just thought I had
You're actually leaving Tuesday. We have to be there at 10 p.m.
Yeah, we're leaving to the airport at like 9:30 tonight. Yeah. So it's like I feel under the pump and I don't know what to do.
I was like, oh, Luke, while we were literally out, I was like, we've got your puffer, but we need to get you like thermals to put underneath like the clothes.
What is that? No, but is it like that stuff we're looking at Kathmandu, like the hiking stuff?
No, the stuff that we were looking at.
Do people just mean get a warm jumper?
No. Thermals is usually something, a clothing, like piece of material that really holds the warmth in. Like my thermals are all made from merino wool. It's a super lightweight, breathable wool, but it also keeps all of the warmth in. So it's like super comfy and warm. Yeah. And I was like, you should get these because it's going to be really cold and people are going to tell you all the time, like, you need to get thermals, you need to get thermals.
I'm so fucked.
You're so fucked. I'm so prepared. It's crazy.
I started getting angry at Jack, who's like the tour manager, and it's not his problem.
No.
Like to prepare my life.
No.
And I'm just like,
I literally
isn't your
told
job
you
to like tell me I'm just a child.
No, but
what's the problem?
then we literally tell you while we're at the shops and you're like, nah, I'll just get it there. You have to put them on your
play Fortnite with my friends.
That's it. It's not because we're not telling you. We're telling you literally while it's the most convenient
You're telling you
time.
that I can't hear because I'm like 10 meters away. Just pop in the grid. He's literally walking away from the conversation right now. It's going to be shit. Yeah, I ruined nice times in my life because of the way I am.
Like I know this. I'm letting you kind of come to a conclusion here.
This should be like this big moment in my career where I'm like, oh my God, I'm selling out of these shows overseas. And it feels like that in some way.
Yeah.
But mainly my day to day will just be like, my feet are cold.
Oh, why are my sockies wet?
Like everyone's going to come back and be like, oh, how was the UK? Was it amazing? And I'll be like, no, my knees were cold.
Oh, my fingers are so wet and cold.
Because I didn't get gloves.
Nope.
Oh, and there's something else I had to get.
Okay, trackies.
V-Bucks.
All right.
New battle pass.
We're ending this podcast. We're done. We done now. Okay. Alrighty, guys. We hope that you have a good weekend. Make sure you get fucking turned up.
I'm excited. This weekend, I'm going to be doing my first ever shows in another country. No, that's not true. I did New Zealand, but that's the same shit.
Well, like a country that's really far away. Yay!
A country with where you have chili socks. Why did I do a New Zealand accent for the UK? Oh, and I haven't downloaded movies for the plane. I am so fucked.
I did that last night. And I just want to put it out there that while you were sitting down not doing anything, I was like, you should download the movies and the music that you want to listen to. So I just want to put it out there. I have told you already to do all of this stuff. Yeah. All right.
I was having toast.
All right, everyone. We're done here.
I'm so fucked. We're done.
Right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you when we're in the UK. Bye.
Bring some gloves to the shows, please.
I'm pretty sure they already have gloves.
Gloves
they live
and
there.
beer. No, for me. Gloves and beer. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.